Alright, in this tutorial we are going to go over how to write an equation when looking at a graph in point-slope form. So remember, the only two things that you need in order to write an equation are its slope and any point. Now in some of your practice exercises, there may be a graph where it has a red dot to specify the specific point it wants you to write. This is probably just so that IXL is able to quickly determine if you're using a correct point, because it's not going to be able to have all infinitely possible points in its database to check and see if that's a correct one. So for the purpose of these two examples, I'm going to show you how to use that specific point, and I'm also going to give you some bonus points along that line to show you what it would look like. So this is the first point. You have to identify first the coordinates of it. So to go over here, it's to -5 and down to -1. So that is your xy coordinate. And then to go to the next point, you have to figure out its slope. And it looks like on this specific graph, there's a point there. There's a point right here. Oh gosh, right there. And then up here again. So just to go to the next one, it looks like each one of these lines is up 1 and over 1. So we're going to go up 1 over 1, 2, 3. So the slope is going to be 1 over 3. Now remember your point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we're just going to plug in directly the points that we see, just like we did in the last one with writing our equation. So y minus, this is our y coordinate, so minus -1 equals m times x minus -5. And just remember to do your positives that come from your double negative. Now you could have also used this coordinate point right here, which is -2, 0, as your point slope formula equation. So your y coordinate is going to be 0, so you could say y, you could write -0, but you don't have to, equals same slope. That part is not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is your point. And then you have x minus -2, which becomes an x plus 2. This is still also in point slope form. Either one, when you're writing on paper, are going to be acceptable, but IXL may get a little funky in terms of which specific points you have to write, or on any standardized test. Obviously, you have to pick one of the given options below, so you just have to make sure that the point given right there is the correct one. Now, in this second example, I believe that your point over here may have been cut off. So your coordinate point over here is going to be what looks like 100 and up to 90. And then our slope to get down, we've got 1 down right here. So each line is going to be 10 in both directions, so down 10 over 20. Down 10 over 20. Make sure that gets reduced. You can divide both of those by 10, so your slope is actually -1 over 2. Now we're going to plug this into our point slope formula. Y minus our y1 right here, y1, which is 90, equals to our slope, -1 over 2, x minus our x1. That yellow on white is really hard to see, but I think you get the picture.